Today we have an OSU wheat variety test plot field day, and we had a lot of farmers, a lot of interest here today. We're got a pretty good looking crop, and we're just hoping that we can get to harvest with it. And after a long, hard, dry winter, that we really fought hard for this crop, and I think that we've got some potential to make some good wheat here today. So we were kind of excited about that fact.
There is a replicated performance trial here that was going through, looking at varieties. A lot of varieties to choose from here today, and just a lot of questions about those varieties and what they look like and kind of how they're going to perform this year.
Well, this variety is a Ruby Lee, and it's a very high yielding potential variety, but consequently it has a little more susceptibility to diseases than some of the other varieties. And over the last couple weeks, we've had very little rust show up on any wheat in Oklahoma. We have had some powdery mildew, and lo and behold, came down here expecting to see powdery mildew, and there's no powdery mildew, but there is starting to be a buildup of stripe rust, and then also another disease that we don't see that often, Septoria leaf blight. And Ruby Lee is the variety that's showing the most of it. On the flag leaves, it has a severity of around 1 to 10%, so it's not real large right now, but this is a warning that on susceptible varieties, there could be some stripe rust that's really going to start appearing over the next couple weeks, especially if we stay cool and we get some more moisture, which both of those things are in the forecast.
I do know that this plot, or this area right here, not necessarily had a tremendous amount of rain, but I think around 10 inches since it was planted. But it's been more timely rains, and so you can have, you know, if it comes at the right time, you can make it kind of work. But this looks extremely good for today.
The spores that are here that are being produced on these upper leaves, they're very light and powdery, and when you get the winds that Oklahoma tends to get, that'll blow the spores for miles across the state. Those land on new leaves, on infected leaves, and then if you have the wet dews, moisture coming, free moisture on the leaf, and the right temperatures, you'll get the infection, and then new spores will be produced, and it just cycles its way further north. If it's past flowering, there's not any fungicides you can put on. You would just have to let it run its course. If it's before flowering, there's lots of fungicide available that can be used to control it. If you have started flowering and you're in the midst of flowering, then there's really only 3 chemicals that are labeled for that, as far as I know, that you can use. And so you have to be sure and check that label to make sure that you're spraying it and applying it in accordance with the label. I didn't expect to see this much disease down here, and if there was going to be some, I was expecting to see powdery mildew, and it was a complete opposite of what I thought I would see. There's a lot of pluses to having these types of field days. It allows us as the specialist and the county educators to get together and interact with the clientele, with the producers in the state. Actually get out and see disease problems and other agronomic problems in the field, and have the specialists there to provide answers and information to the producers and to the county personnel as well. I've always enjoyed it because of that ability and chance to interact with the people who are actually growing the wheat. It allows us to get around the state and see what's going on.